In this video, I'm going to do a step-by-step beginner tutorial on how to use the BTCC exchange. If you're looking to learn how to trade futures or how to use the mobile app, I made separate tutorials for that, and I'll be sure to leave a link to those videos in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. In this video, I'll show you how to create a new account, how to deposit assets onto the platform, and how to internally transfer those assets between your accounts. After that, we'll head into the spot market, I'll get you familiar with the user interface, and I'll show you all the different pairings and asset classes that are available on BTCC. There's crypto, tokenized stocks, as well as commodities. Then I'll demonstrate how to buy and sell assets using market orders, limit orders, and all of that and more with some tips and tricks along the way. If you'd like to create an account on BTCC, I left you a verified link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment down below. If you use that link when creating an account, you'll be saving 10% on all your trading fees for the lifetime of your account. BTCC is also often running promotions for folks who are creating a new account. These can be tethered deposit bonuses and welcome rewards. So if you use that link when creating your account, you'll be saving 10% on all your trading fees and be eligible for the current promotion, whatever that might be by the time you're watching this video. You'll also be supporting my channel at no extra cost to you. This video is not financial advice and is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research before ever using an exchange, including BTCC. I also left you some timestamps in the description down below, so at any point feel free to skip to a section that might be most relevant to you. Aside from that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Let's get into the video. If you clicked on my link in the description of this video, or in the pinned comment down below, you should be redirected to this page right here or some variation of it. You'll notice here on your computer that you can create an account by using an email, or you can click here and use a mobile number. Simply choose the option that makes the most sense to you. Then come up with a good password and simply click on Next. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see the promotion that is currently available to you. Now, at the time of making this video, the current promotion is you can unlock up to 30,000 USDT in welcome rewards. Also, keep in mind that if you used my link when creating your account, you'll be saving 15% on all your trading fees for the lifetime of your account, in addition to whatever promotion might be available to you up here as well. So if anybody needs to create an account, now's a good time to pause the video, create your account, and I'll see you on the next step of this tutorial. And this is the home page of the platform. If you weren't redirected to this page, you can easily get here by coming up top left-hand side of the screen and just click on the BTCC logo. Then you'll land on this page here or a slight variation of it. Now, at the time of making this video, KYC is not necessary to create an account and use this platform, but some of the services are a bit limited. For example, you won't be able to buy any crypto using Fiat, but you can still deposit crypto onto the platform, you can buy and sell in the spot market, you can trade futures, and then of course, when you're done, you can always withdraw your crypto off of the platform. Now, it's entirely possible that at some point in the future, KYC becomes necessary to trade on this platform, depending on the country or region that you're located in. So I'm going to quickly show you where to go to get verified, just in case it's necessary by the time you're watching this tutorial. You'll notice here on the home page that there is a verify button right here to verify your identity. But if you don't see that, you can always come up here to your profile icon. Then you can click right here on identity verification. This will bring you over to a page where you can begin the process of KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer. As you can see in my case here, I'm using an unverified account. But to verify, you'd simply click right here on Start Verification. That'll bring you to this page here, where you can go through this process step by step. It is pretty self-explanatory, but during this process, you'll have to submit a government-issued document, such as a driver's license or a passport, as well as some basic identification questions. To get started with that, we'd click here on Continue, and then click here on Start Verification. Once you're done and you've submitted your documents to BTCC, they'll review it, and once you're verified, they'll let you know, and you're good to go. But as I mentioned at the time of making this video, this is not necessary. But if anybody needs to get verified, now's a good time to pause the video, get verified, and I'll see you on the next step of this tutorial. And if you are using a verified account and you'd like to buy some crypto using Fiat, you can get that done by coming right up here where it says deposit, and then click here on Fiat Deposit. That'll bring you to this page here, where you choose your payment method in this box right here. You type in the quantity of the asset you wish to purchase here, so in this case that would be USDT. then you'd come down and click on Pay Now. Now, obviously, I can't do that because I'm using a burner account for the purpose of making this tutorial. So my account is unverified. But you can see there are several different payment options here. You've got MasterCard, you've got Visa, and you have some third-party service providers. Now, just keep in mind, if you are going to use a third-party service provider, that you'll have to sign up with that provider and go through KYC with them as well. The second thing I'll mention is sometimes with third-party service providers, the fees are not the most competitive. They can be perfectly fine, perfectly convenient, but just watch the fees. Sometimes you're paying a little bit more in fees to use those service providers, but not always. Just pay attention to that. Now, since I'm using an unverified account, we're going to go ahead and move on from this, but anybody on a verified account, this is where you come to buy crypto using fiat. And if you'd simply like to deposit some Tether or a different crypto asset onto the platform, trade it on the spot market or the futures market, we can get that done by coming right up here, top right hand side of the screen. You'll find a deposit button right here. But you can also hover over assets and you'll find a deposit button here as well. Click either one of those and that's going to bring you over here to a standard crypto deposit form. And I'll do a couple quick demonstrations here. So the first thing we need to do is choose the crypto we wish to deposit onto the platform by clicking on this box here. You can search for it in the search bar, you can use the wheel of your mouse, or you can choose one of the recommended options here. I'm going to be demonstrating with Tether, so I'll click here on UST. Now that I've selected USDT, I need to choose the blockchain network that I'm going to be completing this deposit over. So if your crypto is inside a self-custody wallet, like MetaMask or Phantom Wallet or Trust Wallet, you'll need to choose the network that it's stored on inside your wallet by clicking right here. If you're sending crypto from another exchange, you'll need to make sure that you match the network on both sides of this. So whatever network you choose over here on BTCC, just make sure you select that same network on the other exchange that you're sending the crypto from. You don't want to send from one network and into another, or you risk losing your crypto permanently. So you need to always match the networks. So for this first demonstration, I'll send a small amount of Tether from my Phantom wallet onto the BTCC platform. Now, I already know my Tether is stored inside my wallet on the Ethereum ERC20 network, so I'm going to be selecting that network right here. Once you choose the crypto, as well as the network, BTCC will then be generating your deposit address. Mine's behind a black box. You'll see a QR code, so if you're doing this from your phone, you can scan that QR code, but you'll also see your deposit address next to that QR code. You can copy it by simply clicking right here on copy. So now that I've copied my deposit address, I'm going to go ahead and open my Phantom wallet. It's just outside of Frame. I have it as a Chrome extension, so I'm going to click on that. It's going to drop down and I can see a tiny amount of Tether right here. And of course, I can see that's on the Ethereum mainnet. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Then I'm going to click here on Send. Now I'm going to paste my deposit address for Tether on the Ethereum network for BTCC into this box right here, just like this. Now I'm going to choose how much Tether I wish to send over to BTCC, and I just have a tiny amount, so I'll go ahead and click on Max. Now I'm going to come down here and click on Next, and I'm going to click on Send. And that Tether has now been sent from my Phantom wallet over to BTCC, so we'll go ahead and close this out. Now, while we're waiting for that to show up, I'll do another demonstration here, but this time I'll send some crypto from another crypto exchange over to BTCC. So again, we'd choose the crypto we wish to send, then we'd click here to choose the network. And just for fun, I'll use a different network. Let's go ahead and do the BNB Smart Chain. So I'm going to click on that. Now BTCC is generating a Tether deposit address for the BNB Smart Chain, and of course I can see that right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that address by clicking here on Copy. Now I'll bring a different crypto exchange into frame. And this is Blowfin. If you're interested in this platform, I also have tutorials for it. Links in the description down below. So now I need to get to the crypto withdraw form. So I'm going to come up here where it says Assets, and I'll click here on Withdraw. Now that I'm on the crypto withdrawal form for Blowfin, I need to choose Tether by clicking right here. I can see Tether, so we'll give that a click. Now I need to choose the correct network, so I'm going to click right here. And of course, I selected the BNB Smart Chain on BTCC, so I'm going to be clicking right here on BNB Smart Chain on Blowfin as well. Now the network matches on both sides of this. So now I can go ahead and paste in my BTCC Tether deposit address for the BNB Smart Chain into this box right here like this. Now I can choose how much Tether I wish to send from Blowfin over to BTCC. Let's go ahead and do 190 Tether. After paying the fee, I should receive 189 Tether. So I'm going to go ahead and click here on Withdraw. Of course, I'm going to confirm the details are correct, the correct address, the correct network. Looks good, so I'm going to click here on Continue. Now I'm going to do my verification. And that Tether is now on its way from Blowfin and over to BTCC. So I'll bring BTCC back into frame. And if we look right down here under deposit history, you can see that 59 Tether has already arrived from my Phantom wallet, and the status of that is currently processing. So once enough blocks have confirmed on the Ethereum blockchain, this 59 Tether is going to be available for me to trade on the spot market or the futures market, whatever I want to do. And currently we're still waiting for the deposit to arrive from Blowfin. So while we're waiting for that, I'm going to show you where you can find your funds once you deposit them onto the platform. To do that, we're going to come right up here where it says Assets, and we'll just click right here on our balance. And this is going to bring you over to the Asset Overview page. And you can see my 59 Tether has arrived, and it actually arrived inside my futures account. And you can see it right here. And I just refreshed the page, and you can see that my other Tether has now arrived from Blowfin, and we can see it here in the futures account. Now, this is great if you want to go straight to trading futures, but if you simply want to buy and sell crypto off the spot market, you'll have to transfer your assets into your spot account. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that next. Now, here on your Asset Overview page, you'll be able to see all your different internal accounts on BTCC right here, and you can toggle between them by simply clicking on the account that you wish to view. You can also do that over here on the left-hand side. Now, if you want to trade on the futures market, you'll need to make sure your assets are inside your futures account. But if you want to buy and sell on the spot market, you'll need to make sure that your assets are inside your spot account. If you want to trade TradFi, same thing, you'll have to transfer into your TradFi account. Now, to transfer between these accounts, you'll find a transfer button over here, top right-hand side of the screen. So let's go ahead and give that a click. That'll bring you to this page here where you can transfer your assets internally between your accounts. And there's no fees to get this done. It's simply an internal transfer. So right here, you choose the account you wish to transfer from by giving that a click and selecting it down below. My Tether's in my futures account, so I'll be leaving that as it is. Next, choose the account that you wish to transfer your assets to by clicking right here. And let's go ahead and do the spot account. That way we can buy and sell in the spot market. So I'm going to click here on spot. Next, you choose the crypto that you wish to transfer by clicking right here. All I have is Tether, so I'll just be leaving that as it is. Next, choose how much of the asset you wish to transfer internally. You'll be able to see your available balance right here. So you can do a custom amount if you want. I can do something like this. Or if you want to transfer all of it, just click right here on 100%. Then click on Confirm. Then confirm your transfer. Looks fine to me, so confirm. And transfer successful. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this out. Let's come back up here to Assets. We'll click on our balance right here. Now we're back to the Asset Overview page. You can see that my Tether has been moved from my futures account. And if I click here on Spot, we can now see that Tether inside my spot account. So that's how you can transfer assets between your accounts. So now that I have my Tether inside my spot account, I can buy and sell some crypto on the spot market. So to get into the spot market, we're going to come right up here where it says Spot, and we'll click right here on Spot Trading. And this will bring you into the spot market user interface. You can find your different pairings if you come right up here, top left-hand side. So in my case where it says BTC USDT. You'll get a drop-down menu, and here's where you can see all the different crypto that you can buy and sell on the spot market. And you'll see there's a couple market types available here. There's Tether as well as USDC. So I'm currently set to USDT. That means all these pairings down below are quoted in Tether. If I want to buy a crypto using these pairings, I'll need Tether inside my spot account. And if I sold a crypto using these pairings, I'd be receiving Tether for the sale. If we click here on USDC, now you can see all these pairings are quoted in USDC. So if you want to buy crypto using these pairings, you'll need USDC inside your spot account. And if you sold a crypto using these pairings, you'd be receiving USDC for the sale. So choose the market type that best suits you. I'll go with Tether here. Then click on the coin you wish to either buy or sell, or you can search for it in the search bar up above. I'll go ahead and demonstrate with Ethereum. So let's go ahead and click on ETH USDT. And now you can see that I've selected the Ethereum pairing. Now I'm ready to buy and sell Ethereum. So of course, choose the crypto that you wish to either buy or sell. The price action chart here is powered by TradingView, so you'll be able to find some basic drawing tools over here on the left-hand side of the chart. There's a little triangle next to each one of these. If you click it, it expands into a drop-down menu where you can find additional drawing tools if you wish to use them. You'll see your time frames up above. I'm currently set to 1 day, so each candlestick on this chart represents a day of time. If you want a different time frame, just click on the time frame you want to view. So if we want a 1 hour, we'd click on that. Now each candlestick represents an hour of time. You'll find additional time frames if you click on this little triangle right here. As you can see, we've got some different time frames down below here. If you want to add an indicator, just click on this little icon right here. You'll get a pop-up window and you can select an indicator here, or you can search for one. If I wanted RSI, I could do something like this. Click on Relative Strength Index. And as you can see, I just added the RSI to the bottom of the chart. If I want to get rid of it, we'll just click here on this trash icon. Next to the price action chart, you'll be able to see the order book. This is showing you where market participants have placed their orders to buy and sell crypto. And they're doing this by using limit orders, which I'll be demonstrating in this tutorial. On the top side of the order book in red, these are called the asks. These are the price points that market participants have placed their orders to sell the asset. Down here in green, that's called the bids. These are the price points that market participants have placed their orders to buy. The price in the middle of the order book is called the mid price, how original. That is the price point that the asset is currently trading at. So all the asks up above are greater than the mid price, and all the bids down below are less than the mid price. Then of course, next to the order book is where you'll find your order panel, where you can be a buyer or a seller by toggling between these two options right here. And you can use limit orders as well as market orders, and there's some trigger options here as well. And I'll be making separate tutorials for those and putting them in a playlist on my YouTube channel, so check it out. In this tutorial, I'll demonstrate market orders as well as limit orders. First, I'll demonstrate a market order because these order types are nice and simple. They'll execute immediately at the best available price off of the order book. So the first thing we want to do is come up here to the pairings and choose a crypto that you wish to either buy or sell. I'll go ahead and demonstrate with Bitcoin, so I'm going to click on BTC USDT. So now we're going to come over here to the order panel, choose if you're going to be a buyer or a seller. I'll demonstrate as a buyer first, so I'm going to click right here on buy. Next, we'll click here on market order. Next, we need to choose how much of the asset we wish to buy. We can choose the amount of the asset in this box right here, or you can come down to this box and choose how much tether you wish to spend on the asset. And of course, you'll be able to see your available balance right here, so you'll know exactly what you're working with. Alternatively, you can use a slider bar in the middle here. So if I grabbed onto that and I slid it up to say 51%, that would spend 51% of my available tether on this asset. If I slid it up to 100%, that would spend 100% of my balance on this asset. So for this demonstration, I'll go ahead and just buy 100 tether worth of Bitcoin. So I'm going to type that into this box right here. Now that I have my buy order set up the way that I want it, I'm going to simply click right here on buy. You'll get an order confirmation window here, so confirm the details are what you intended. If they are, click here on order confirmation. And just like that, my order executed, and I bought myself a little bit of Bitcoin. Now, once you buy a crypto off of the spot market, you'll be able to find it in your spot account. So if I come up here where it says assets, click on my balance right here, we're back over here to the asset overview page. And if I come down here and click on spot, here's where I can see that Bitcoin that I just bought off the spot market right here. Now let's imagine I want to sell some of that Bitcoin. We just come back up here to spot, click here on spot trading, and we're back into the spot market. Of course, I'd come up to the pairings and make sure I'm set on Bitcoin because that's the asset that I wish to sell. Then we'd come back over here to the order panel and we'd click here on sell. Then I'm going to click here on market order. Now I can choose how much of the Bitcoin I wish to sell in this box right here. And I can see my available Bitcoin balance right here. So I can type in a custom amount of the asset into this box here, or we can use the slider bar. So for this demonstration, let's go ahead and slide this up to say 50%. That's going to sell 50% of my Bitcoin immediately at the best available price off the order book. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to come down here and click on sell. Getting an order confirmation window here. Confirm the details are what you intended. If they are, click here on order confirmation. And just like that, I sold half of my Bitcoin back into Tether. If we come back up here to assets, click on our balance, come back over here, click where it says spot. You can now see down below that I sold half of that Bitcoin back into Tether. So as easy as that. So let's go ahead and head back into the spot market by coming right up here. We'll click on spot trading. And now we're back into the spot market. So as you can see, market orders execute immediately at the best available price off the order book. But you do pay more in fees for using market orders versus using limit orders. And that's because you're immediately removing liquidity off of the order book versus adding to the order book by executing a limit order. And exchanges like to incentivize traders to use limit orders and add liquidity to the book. And they'll do that by charging less in fees for limit orders versus market orders. All right, let's do limit orders. So a limit order is going to give you the ability to choose a price point that you wish to place an order to buy an asset, or a price point that you wish to place an order to sell an asset. And you can save on trading fees by using these order types because you're placing them on the order book. But you do need the price of the asset to reach your order price before your order is going to fill and either buy or sell the asset. So the first thing we need to do is come up here to our pairings and choose a crypto that you wish to place an order to buy or sell. I'm fine demonstrating with Bitcoin, so I'll leave this as it is. Next, we'll come over here to the order panel and we'll make sure we set it to limit order by giving that a click. Then, of course, choose if you're going to be placing a buy order or a sell order. I'll demonstrate with a buy order first. Next, I need to choose a price point that I wish to place an order to buy. So let's quickly come over here to the chart and let's imagine that I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but maybe I think it's going to pull back a little bit before finding some support and ultimately moving to a higher price point. Maybe somewhere near this pivot on the market right here. So what I'll do is I'll grab a horizontal here from the drawing tools. There's a small triangle next to trend line, and I'll grab a horizontal line just like this. Now I'm going to come over here to the chart and I'll go ahead and just mark this area out something like this. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart correlating to that horizontal, coming at 66,995. So I'm going to come up here to limit price and I'm going to type that price point in. I'm going to go 66,995. Next, we need to choose the size of the order we wish to place. And I'll just go ahead and do 100 Tether. Now that I have my limit order to buy some Bitcoin set up the way that I want it, I'm going to come down here and click on buy. Then you'll get an order confirmation pop-up window, so confirm the details are what you intended, and if they are, click on order confirmation. And order executed. I just placed that limit order onto the order book. Now if I come up here and refresh the page, we can actually see that limit order on the chart. So if I delete my horizontal here now, you can see that limit order on the chart itself inside this green box and represented by that green line. So if Bitcoin does roll over and come down to this green line here, hitting the price point of 66,995, this order is going to fill and I'll be buying some Bitcoin. If Bitcoin just continues up from here, I'll be missing out on this because the price of Bitcoin failed to come down and reach my order price. If Bitcoin was to roll over, fill my order at 66,995 and keep going to the downside, that would obviously put me at a loss. Now I'll also point out you can easily amend these. If you just hold down left click over top of your limit order, you can see that I can actually move this around. So let's imagine I wanted to move it up a bit, maybe something like this. I'll let go of left click. And as you can see, I just amended that buy order up to 67,685. You can find more details of your limit order if you look down here, click where it says open orders and click on normal orders. And here's where you'll see your limit orders on the order book. These orders will stay on the order book until they either fill or you manually cancel them. You can cancel them by coming over here under action and clicking on cancel order. Alternatively, you can cancel them on the chart itself. So if I come up to the chart, you'll see there's a little X inside this green box. If I left click on that, you can see I just immediately canceled that limit order. If you'd like to use a limit order to place an order to sell crypto, we can do that by coming up here to the order panel. We'll make sure we switch this from buy over to sell. Make sure we're set to limit order. And now we need to choose a price point that we wish to place our order at. So let's quickly head over here to the chart. And for the sake of demonstration, let's imagine that I want to place an order to sell my Bitcoin somewhere up around this pivot point right here. So what I'll do is grab a horizontal here from the drawing tools, and I'll go ahead and mark that pivot out something like this. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming at 73,530. So I'm going to come over here to the order panel and type that into limit price. We'll go 73,530. Now I need to choose how much of my Bitcoin I wish to sell if that price point gets hit. And I'll just go ahead and use the slider bar here. I'll put it up to 100%. Now that I have my order set up the way that I want it, I'm going to click here on sell. And I'm going to click here on confirm. And now I've placed that limit order onto the order book to sell my Bitcoin if Bitcoin was to rise up and hit 73,530. Now, if you don't see your limit order on the chart, just try refreshing your browser. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that line there. I'm going to refresh my browser. And now we can see my limit order on the chart itself. So I obviously have some kind of bug in my browser right now, but if that's happening to you as well, just refresh your browser. You should be able to see it there. Of course, you'll be able to find more details of your limit order down here. Click on open orders, click on normal orders, and here's where you'll see your limit order. Again, that'll stay on the order book until it either fills or you manually cancel it. Let's go ahead and cancel this one this time by coming over here under action. We'll click on cancel order and confirm. And as you can see, I just removed that limit order to sell my Bitcoin off of the order book. So as you can see, limit orders give you the ability to choose a price point, to be a buyer or a seller of an asset. But you do need the price of the asset to reach your order price before that order actually fills and executes. And you can save a little bit on your trading fees if your limit orders are successful. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you can use a limit order. To find your trading fees, just come right up here to your profile icon and click right here. So in my case, where it says VIP1. Then on this page here, just scroll down and you'll find your fee rates right here. You'll be able to see all the different VIP levels right here. And in these two columns, you'll find your futures fees as well as your spot fees, taker and maker. Taker is market orders and maker is limit orders. Now these fees could be different by the time you're watching this video, so it doesn't hurt to come on over here and check them out and see where they're at. Also remember that anybody that uses my link when signing up will be saving 10% on all their trading fees for the lifetime of their account. And there you have it, your introduction to using the BTCC exchange. If you got some value out of that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Also feel free to check out my other BTCC tutorials, which I've put together in a playlist on my YouTube channel. Thanks for coming by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one, and until I do, have yourself a powerful day.